This is the plaintiff, Jeremy Cayenne Sr. He says he purchased the GMC Yukon from the defendant, and on the ride home after the sale, the dashboard lit up like a Christmas tree. He attempted to return it the next day. The defendant told him he wasn't going to give him his money back. Hey, that thing needs a whole lot of engine work, and he's suing the defendant for the $4,085.55 he paid because the guy ripped him off. This is the defendant, Shazam Abdul. He says the plaintiff looked at his vehicle, took it for a test drive, and went right to the bank to get the money because he said he wanted it so badly. 24 hours later, he wanted to return it because he said it was no good. But when he sold it to the plaintiff, it was in great condition. And he has no idea what he did to the thing in the day he had it, so no returns. He's accused of refusing a refund.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff bought a GMC Yukon from the defendant, and almost immediately, the dashboard lit up like a Christmas tree. The defendant says that he has no idea what the guy did with it in 24 hours. It's the case of Yukon me.
Thank you, Douglas. All righty, Mr. Cayenne?
Yes. How you doing?
You bought a Yukon Denali from Mr. Abdul, correct?
Yes.
How much did you pay for that?
I paid $1,500.
$1,500.
Yes.
The Blue Book value is almost double that. You got a good deal. All right, but not in your eyes.
That's what I thought.
Because you thought you had a good deal. And why were you selling it so cheaply? The Blue Book value is much higher.
I have 3 vehicles, and where I live, I don't have parking, so I decided to get rid of it.
So you really wanted to get rid of it?
Yes, sir.
All right. So how long did you have it for sale before you heard from him?
Just like one day, I put it, get my son-in-law to sell the vehicle.
Where'd you put it on Craigslist? Where'd you put it on? Okay. And then you went over there, you test drove it?
Exactly.
Right. At the same day?
The same day.
And then you bought it the same day?
I spoke to the guy that was talking.
I don't care who you spoke to. And you bought it the same day?
The same day.
Right. And so you test drove it?
I test drove it. And
how was it driving when you test drove it?
It was driving fine. I drove it a couple of blocks. It was driving okay.
Right. Do you have a mechanic take a look at it?
No, I have a...
Because that would cost like $100 or something.
Not at that moment.
Not at any moment before you bought it.
Not before I bought it.
Right. That's the time you want the mechanic to look at it when you're buying a used car, because you're buying a 2002 used car, right?
Yeah. I bought my...
Except for nobody does that. Because if you did, Douglas and I couldn't eat. You see? And we got to keep the court going. And that, you know. So we have a name for the people like you who just buy a used car, drove it around, sounds good, let's go. Woo! Can't get to the bank fast enough. Peeling a hole in my pocket. Let me pay you. We call those people litigants.
Well, I have
so now you're in court. When do you realize I shouldn't have bought this?
Well, I left from where they were and got the truck like on the highway and started doing all kinds of things. The ABS light come on, the all kinds of lights coming on. The truck starts like
lighting up like a Christmas tree.
And
what lights came on?
The check engine light, Jesus, there was so many lights. The brake light, the airbag light. I have background in automotive. I went to school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
wow. And yet you're here as a litigant.
Yeah, I took my course.
How much background does he have in automotive? Who's that nice lady with you?
That's my wife.
Your wife. What does he do for a living?
Right now, he's a truck driver.
Okay. How much background you got in automotive that you buy a used car that turns out to have problems? Because according to you, this happens on the way home. And I know from some texts that you did, like, pretty quickly say, I want my money back. Mm-hmm. But now, I know, do you have your phone with the text to him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and get that up. According to you, when you your mechanic, let me see the stuff from your mechanic if you have the...
These are all the things from the mechanic. Those
Great.
are the estimate.
Yeah, just hand it over. So according to them, the problem is misfiring cylinders, misfire history, cylinder 1. I don't know what that means. Do you have a statement from the mechanic on how to interpret this?
No.
An air suspension pump, a starter. How do you know this mechanic?
I've been going to this mechanic with all of my other vehicles.
Well, you would think you would take him with you to buy a new one.
So is it okay to test drive a car and then say, okay, I'll buy it if it's 17 years old?
Yeah, I think that's the usual practice with what you do when
Is
you
it really?
yeah.
You buying that? Is that the usual practice?
No. I'd bring it into a mechanic.
I'd bring it into a mechanic.
I'd bring it into a mechanic going inside the courtroom.
We just recently had our third child, and I take care of my family on my own. I don't make a lot of money, so I didn't have a lot of money to put more into paying somebody else for it. So I thought that
that's fine. I hear what you're saying, and I understand that, and I respect it. But we're still in the same position, which is that a sale of a car is an as-is entity. It's as is. That means you got to know what you're buying beforehand. You got to get it inspected beforehand, because as is means you can't complain later, unless you can prove that he warranted, like he says to you, it's a brand new engine, I put it in a year ago, and you find out it's not, that's a complete lie. Or if he says, those are 4 new tires, I just put them on, and you have evidence that that's a complete lie. If you can show some kind of lie, it's different. Let me talk to you. Why are you guys selling a car at half of the value, the Blue Book value? Because that sounds suspicious.
No, I buy the vehicle for $2,000.
Oh, you bought it for $2,000?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
how
that's
long
why I
ago
sell
did you
them
buy
like-
it for $2,000?
I buy it from my nephew, so I buy like for a year, and then I decide because
And
where
were
I
you
live-
driving it?
Yes.
And was there anything wrong with it?
To the vehicle.
Okay, well, there was obviously, he really wanted that vehicle, right?
Yeah, because
And then the next day he texts you, I'm bringing the vehicle back, I want my money back.
Yeah, I
and
did.
you say, no, don't come to my house. I'm not giving you your money back, as is sale and blah, blah. You say all that to him. All right, so you know that there was something wrong from his perspective immediately, right? It's not like you heard from him a month later. He texted you right away that he wanted it, the next day that he wanted his money back, right?
Yeah.
So when you say there's nothing wrong with it, there was something wrong with it when he had it by the next day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he tell you what was wrong with it? Show me the text. I'm sorry, he did show me the text. Yo, I can't take back that truck. I already sell the truck to you. You already take it home. I don't know what you did with it. He says, I'm on my way to you. Just have me money and we will be done. And you say, no, listen, I do not want to get involved with this. We did a deal and that's it. You scammed the truck and everything was good. Now you calling me and telling me this. If you want your money back, take me to court. That's all. The cops are on their way here. You will be needed here.
Yeah, after he came at my house, he was really aggressive outside.
Oh.
I have no other option than calling the cops.
Okay.
When I told him the cops coming, he jumped in the truck and he drove off.
Wow.
Okay, you tell me your version of that.
So when I get there, his mother, well, according to them, the mother comes out, the whole family comes out, and they cursing me out, me and my wife. I don't even curse anymore. I'm not saying I never have, but I don't.
How'd you do that?
How did I do what?
How did you stop cursing? He knows exactly what I mean.
It's willpower. I'm an elder in the
Kind
church.
of like the food thing. Okay.
Like I stopped doing other things, so I don't try to curse or whatever, even if I get angry. And the situation was definitely agitating me because we just had our third child.
I heard that the first 20 times, but did the police come or no?
Yeah, he came over.
And what happened?
They came over, they asked for the VIN number of the vehicle. I gave them the VIN number of the vehicle. They said, okay, the guy already bought the vehicle, they have nothing to do with this anymore.
Okay. Oh, the police came, but he had left already. Why didn't you stay for the police?
There was no reason to stay because I couldn't. They wouldn't. They said they weren't going to give me the money, and like I didn't say. They said I was aggressive. It was a total opposite.
Yeah, I know
They
why
were
you
very
laughed.
aggressive. They cursed us out.
Because the brain cells are connected. Okay. All right, so let me ask you a question. You're suing for the $1,500 you paid for it,
Yes.
and you're suing for $2,444 to fix it, and you're suing for $141 that they charge you for a diagnostic, and you plan to keep the car, so you plan to have a free car?
Either or. I really want the estimate and just the diagnostic fee. That's really what I want.
But you're not going to get that either. Because what you have is a classic case of buyer's remorse. This sale is an as-is sale. There are no refunds. That's how every used car sale is. And the law, it has me completely 100% bound to rule in favor of the defendant. Good luck.
Thank you.
So a lot of people are concerned about, well, it's going to cost a lot of money to go to a mechanic, and I don't even know if I'm going to buy the car. You can make a deal with the seller and say, look, I'll take it to a mechanic, but if I decide to buy it, you absorb the cost of the mechanic and deduct it from the sale price.